Hello everyone from the town of Lloret de Mar on the Costa Brava coast. It's brutally hot here today. And before we begin, I want to ask you to support our team. We work hard for you and record in any weather. Today it's 34 degrees. We've been filming since 9 in the morning. It's almost 4 in the afternoon and we're under the scorching sun. So like, hit the bell, leave comments, and now let's go. You very often complain that I show you some old junk. Yes, that's how it turns out. We have very little new housing being built, so the property I'm showing you today deserves your utmost attention because it's a new villa with a panoramic view of the sea. It's located in the village of Serra Brava. And despite the fact that we are in Lloret de Mar, it's always quiet, peaceful, and not noisy here. The house is new, so there are some details that are not finished yet. But before handing over the keys, the developer will tidy everything up here and hand over the house to you in perfect condition. This time I'll start with the trump cards. Usually I build up the suspense. Here, first of all, it won't work to build it up because this view, it's visible immediately when we go up to the terrace and to the house. From every point of the house, we have a stunning view. The green hills in front of us are a nature reserve. I often draw your attention to protected areas, and I think someone on social media wrote to me saying, "Why are you always on about this? You're obsessed with it," they wrote to me. I'm not obsessed with it. I just want to highlight those important things that might escape you at first glance. Why is this valuable? The answer is simple. For example, people who are considering our region and comparing it with Costa Blanca might be watching me. Costa Blanca, I'm not obsessed with it, I just want to highlight those important things that might escape you at first glance. Why is this valuable? The answer is simple. For example, people who are considering our region and comparing it with Costa Blanca might be watching me. Costa Blanca, unfortunately, is famous for having little greenery and, well, just a beehive near the sea. This is how our region differs from the southern regions of Spain. It is for this reason that, for these viewers, I focus their attention on the fact that we have moderate development near the sea and a lot of green space that directly adjoins the sea. Well, now that the main part of the educational program is over, let's take a walk first around the territory. The plot has a rather steep slope, so the area where the house itself stands was leveled. As you can see, terraces have been made where fruit trees or shrubs will subsequently be planted. In fact, the plot goes far up there. The plot around the house is small. This house was created with an eye on people who will come here to relax. We like to show off. We need a large territory, a lawn, a lot of greenery, and, for example, European buyers highly value simplicity in everything, as well as low maintenance costs. And this is becoming more and more popular with you too. It is in fact a house, but in essence it requires the same care as an apartment. That is, you closed the door, turned on the alarm, and left. Yes, why do many of you consider buying an apartment rather than a house? The explanation is always the same. There's less hassle with an apartment. Closed it and left. Well, now houses are being built with exactly the same approach. That is, you live in a house, you have no neighbors above, below, no one is making noise over your head. Look at the view, the silence, but at the same time you have minimal maintenance costs. This is the coolest combination. Let's go into the house in an unconventional way, not through the main door, but straight from the terrace into the living room. I really like the simple color scheme. Here we have white and black tones chosen, such a la Chanel. We already have a review of a house in white and black tones. We will leave a link here. By the way, I have a suggestion. Watch that house if anyone hasn't seen it, if anyone has seen it and remembers what it's about, this one, and write a comparison in the comments. It will be, I think, a very interesting battle. Here we have Lloret de Mar, a slightly different price category, a panoramic view of the sea and the nature reserve. And there we have Playa de Aro. The house is more expensive, it's bigger, but within walking distance to the city infrastructure and the beach. So watch and leave comments, and I'll continue with the house. We entered through the terrace, but here is our front door. We remember, yes, we have strict construction regulations in Spain, and therefore to realize everything you want and dream of is not always possible without sacrificing the house's area. Therefore, here, they squeezed out the maximum area based on the plot that is available. Therefore, some of you will say, why do we enter and get straight into the kitchen? Why is there no separate hallway, separate kitchen? This could have been done, but then we would, well, relatively speaking, the kitchen would start from here because there would be a wall here. They would have put a hallway here, and visually the house would have lost immediately. But this way, when we enter, we immediately get into an open space, and most importantly, our gaze immediately rests on the opening view. Panoramic glazing. It, of course, visually gives a lot of volume to the room itself. And despite the fact that we seem to get straight into the kitchen, to the right of the entrance, we have a hallway corner. There is a place to put an ottoman, a mirror, a cabinet for shoes, for clothes. Right here we have the kitchen. By tradition, let's evaluate the kitchen and its equipment. I was in this house when it was just being built, so for me, this is also a discovery. So we have Whirlpool here, a dishwasher, Whirlpool, a washing machine, I understand, with a drying function. Here we have a fridge, so a fridge. Overall, the kitchen is very spacious. Yes, everything opens with a push, a microwave, an oven. All of this is also Whirlpool. My only comment is this needs to be put here. But I understand why it's done this way. Here is the water zone, sink, washing machine, dishwasher. There. Well, I would, of course, this is begging to be here. But overall, reorganizing this is not that difficult. This feature, not everyone will appreciate. If you are afraid to walk on glass, I will show you from below. This is a very cool room. It has lighting, a wine room. And if you are a wine collector, then the point was in wineries, you can sometimes find this kind of thing. That is, wine is stored there in bottles, and you from above, it is illuminated, and you from above see the wine collection. Here is the same principle. The temperature is maintained there. That is, imagine when this wine cellar is filled with expensive collectible wine, and you can, in the evening, imagine how beautiful you have such a dark sea at sunset with some bright red, orange flashes. Here you have wine illuminated from below. Whether you want to or not, you'll pour a glass. Guest bathroom with a shower. This is in case you want to take a shower after the pool. Perhaps to some this room will seem small to accommodate a sofa area and a dining area, but imagine that you have a sofa here. It can be separate or a corner chaise lounge sofa, and closer to the kitchen, a dining table. I think you now understand that you can perfectly arrange furniture here, and there is still room left. This terrace is designed for outdoor lunches, breakfasts, and dinners with a sea view. And here you can place sun loungers, but I have another option too. Here we put a barbecue, and in that area we set up sun loungers. If someone wants more trees, plantings on the plot. All this territory is at your service. First of all, you can plant a green fence here to separate yourself from the street. Let a vine run. Let's go upstairs. See, everything is built very airily here. The interfloor span, see, our staircase is not solid. It seems to hang in the air. Glass railing. This is all to create this feeling of flight, airiness, as I already said. On this level, we have bedrooms. Bedroom suite, and with its own terraces, they all have access to the terrace, but as you understand, we are in the master bedroom, so on this side, the terrace is wider. God, how good it is here. We are so tired, we are so hot. I would sit on this terrace. Besides the views, as you can see, I instinctively sat down, not facing the sea, but facing the mountains. When you live by the sea, it's best to admire it, sitting on the beach. The surf that calms you down. And you should live surrounded by greenery. And look, we are above the clouds. See what kind of clouds are there? Everything you see, this blue, 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 is actually the sea. Today, because of the heat, these clouds have gathered. In fact, it's not so much clouds as evaporation that rises when sudden heat occurs. And therefore, we can't see the horizon very well, but even now, it is beautiful. Look at the lush greenery, bright green against the blue sea. How long have we been filming here? Well, we've been in the house for about 30 minutes. Not a single car has passed. No noise at all. Space for a built-in wardrobe. I draw your attention to the glass corner, if you can call it that. We have stained glass windows here, stained glass windows on this side. Everywhere we have heating through air conditioning, heat, cold works, bathroom, shower, toilet, bidet functions. I remind you that now almost no one installs a bidet. This is a passing trend. No one needs them. They are not interested. Everywhere there is underfloor heating, so don't let the tiles bother you. In summer, right now, in such heat, I'll directly demand, oh God, even now it's warm. Well, such a plus, or rather coolish. Very cool. There, and in winter it will be warm for you. Here is the air conditioning. The ceilings here are higher than standard. Aerothermal system throughout the house. And if anyone needs it, solar panels can be installed. Another room. There is also a niche for built-in wardrobes, but everything faces the sea. That is, if someone is looking for a frontal view of the sea, the mountains, the green hills, this is the option. And I keep constantly say this and will say it again. You all scold Lloret for being overloaded with tourists. Yes, the center of Lloret is like that, and I don't hide it from you. But Lloret is very different. This is also Lloret de Mar. It's quiet, peaceful, birds are singing here. But most importantly, the beach of this village is my favorite, Canyelles. We have a review of this beach in the village of Canyelles and a review of the beach. So take a look. By the way, in the review about Canyelles, I was just showing this village of Serra Brava from Canyelles. We are in it now. That is, going down from this village, we get straight to Canyelles. And there we have sun loungers, 3 restaurants, 2 bars. Just super. All sea entertainment that exists today is in Canyelles. That is, you relate to the municipality of Lloret de Mar, but in fact you live here autonomously, separately. And all those tourists who buzz there until mid-September in Lloret, they don't affect you at all. This was our 3rd bedroom. This bathroom has a bathtub because it is assumed that one of the bedrooms will be for children. And children, let me remind you, are very often bathed in bathtubs in Spain. That is, bathtubs are the prerogative of children, and we adults wash in the shower, but no one can forbid you from using the bathtub too. And a small room that can be a dressing room. In fact, if someone suddenly doesn't need a wardrobe in the room, they can make a dressing room here. And here we have a pantry. I won't open it completely because there are still some construction materials left here. Well, let's go down. We have 3 bedrooms upstairs. We are going down to the lower level with you, and here is the promised wine cellar. How beautifully everything is done. Oh, and it's so cool. We are staying here until the end of the filming. Let someone else talk and film for us. In general, a very interesting idea. See, such a highlight of this house. I think the one who buys this house, he of course will use this feature to attract attention, to, so to speak, cause surprise in the eyes of his guests. Yes, showing this. But in general, here you can use this as a hoist, for example. Yes, as an elevator. Put some kind of elevator. And a garage. What do I like about this garage? Firstly, there is no steep ramp. And secondly, even see a slope is made, but it is very gentle. And in general, on some car with a low clearance, you can drive in here. They've already thought about this. Automatic gates, wide entrance, no columns. Very often, even in new, just built houses, I happen to meet some stupid garage layout. It seems like the garage is not the most important thing in the house, but when you have a beautiful new house and it's difficult to drive into the garage, well, it's so-so. And if you wish, you can use this part of the garage for parking. You can also drive in here by car. Well, for example, separate this block if you need an additional pantry, yes, or leave it for parking and close this part, and you will have such a neat pantry where all sorts of things will be stored. And here it will always be beautiful, tidy. I'm just a maniac. I need everything to always be outwardly so that everything is in its place. Therefore, for me, pantries are a must in the house. And this room is technical. Here we have an aerothermal system, pool cleaning. As I like to say, the heart of the house is here. Everything is controlled from here. It is also convenient that all the equipment, even for the pool, is in one place, in one room. Something broke, some technician has to come. He went through the garage. He doesn't even need to go up to the pool area. He will do everything from here. This is very smart, very convenient. Oh God, how good it is on the terrace. Only in the summer heat will you be able to appreciate how cool it is to live further from the sea. Here we were by the sea below, but there is really nothing to breathe there now. You go up, the same temperature. You look at the thermometer in the car, everything is the same, all the same 34 degrees, but there is a breeze from the sea and it's very cool, very comfortable. Therefore, when you strive in our hot climate to buy as close to the sea as possible, well, I understand your desire, but I don't approve of it. Because everything is good in moderation. And then when you have a natural air flow, a breeze from the sea air, you can sleep without using air conditioners. This is much, firstly, more economical, and secondly, healthier. And a few technical characteristics: 800 meters plot, 240 meters house. There is a 10-year insurance for the construction of the house, alarm system. If you still have questions, write. Yes, the price is 795,000. And remember, we organize visits of different formats, offline, online. If suddenly for some reason you cannot come, do not hesitate. Request an online visit from us. We will gladly conduct it for you. Well, Marina was with you. Subscribe to our channel, click on the bell. Well, if you need a consultation of a realtor with more than 20 years of experience, you know where to turn. See you soon. Bye-bye. My friends, I forgot to comment to you that these wires, which probably confuse many of you, will soon be removed underground. In some parts of the village, these works have already been carried out, and soon nothing will interfere with enjoying the view.